Hey guys, so we're gonna see what me and my husband picked up from Lowe's and Home Depot, so stay tuned and I'll see you in the video. Alright, so we're gonna start with what we got from Lowe's. So my husband decided to take me to Lowe's to go look at some flowers and stuff, and he saw this pretty little thing here and the one sitting right here next to it as well. This brand you can get at Summer Winds as well. I don't know if they carry this particular rose. I think they might. You can check their website. You can call them. But it's called the Knockout Rose. This is supposed to be when the blooms are fresh. They're supposed to be somewhere between a cherry red and a hot pink. Right now they're currently a hot pink. Not sure if that comes completely on camera.
Some of them are red.
Yeah, my husband was saying some of them look red. I am a tad bit colorblind, so some things look very similar to me. Oh, there's some down here. Look at that. So.
This one right here is red.
Oh, the ones back here, you're saying they look red.
Then there's one on that side that's actually dark red.
And then he was saying somewhere over here, we'll just kind of pan around a little bit. There's one right there.
Where was a bud?
Oh.
This bud is really red, and so this one's really pink. This one has red in it. And these are a lot redder. Like this one's kind of purple and pink, but in the center, these leaves in the center, they're like a hot pink with a dark streaks of red and splotches on them. So there's both of them have a lot of red.
And this one's a completely different rose. But let's cover the Knockout Rose. This comes from Weeks Roses. They have a little tag right here that you can see where they're from. Alright, so the front of their little tag looks like this. It says the Knockout family of roses. And then it shows that it says Knockout right here. It says Star Rose and Plants. Plant a star. If you can dig a hole, you can plant a star. And it gives you a very generic version of what's on the back. And that's pretty much, oh, maybe it does give you a full version of it. Okay, my bad. So they do say that this takes full sun, which that is up to determination of what your full sun weather's like. Mine is not suitable for being out in the bare sun. It blooms between spring and early frost. It gets to approximately 3 to 4 feet high to approximately 3 to 4 feet wide, so it's supposed to bush out a little bit. They're claiming that it's good for zones 5 through 11, and this particular family of roses are excellent disease resistant. And this little icon down here at the very bottom, it says easy to plant, to care, to love. On the back of it, it does say that the original members of the Knockout family, this rose sets a new standard in disease resistance. The rich cherry red to hot pink flowers continue blooming until the first hard frost. Plant individually, in a mass, or mixed with other perennials, shrubs, or roses. It's drought tolerant, self-cleaning, which that's debatable, and no need to deadhead, again debatable. Continues flowers from spring through frost. Best performance, cut back every year. You want to water it regularly until established. The colors again are cherry red to hot pink, and you want to plant these approximately 3 feet apart. Again, that can be debatable. So it just gives you a generic of how that works. And when I say debatable, some of these things are what works best for your area, what works best for your zone, and most importantly, your microclimate in your yard. That's a lot different than what your zone is. It could be hotter, it could be colder, it could be exactly, the same with just a slight difference. It's up to how your yard is. So with this particular one, we were basically rescuing it in a sense, because you can kind of see it down here still. This was completely cracked, pulling away from the plant and the support. The edges of the container, the bottom of the container is completely smashed looking, and it was just dry, hard as a brick. It's moist now because it's been sitting here for about, I don't know, an hour or so. I poured water on top, letting it run down and collect into this bowl down here, and I'm just letting it chill out here and absorb as much water as it wants, because I don't think they've watered it in a while, like a good while, which caused a lot of these poor little leaves and stuff like that to start to die back. I know you can't see it very well right now, but trust me, there's a bunch down in the bottom of there that need to be trimmed back a little bit, or at least just kind of brushed off. And when I say that deadheading is debatable, I've learned with some of my other roses I got, which are very similar to these, if I clip off the little rose heads like these ones right here, oops, lost the petal. If I clip off rose heads like this, it forces newer rose buds like this to bloom a little earlier and more to appear. So that is the knockout rose right there. This little pretty over here is the Intrigue. Yes, it's the Intrigue. This one comes in a fuchsia color, I want to say, for specifically like this one, and it looks like as they die back, they turn into a pretty purple color. So that's my take on it anyways. Let's see, what does your info card say? Let's see, it says, for the water, keep moist for the first year, 2 times per week afterwards. You want to arrange, or the average maturity size is 3 to 4 feet high by 3 to 4 feet wide, so again, they get approximately the same height. And you can tell this one's a little smaller than that one, so this one's got some growing to do still. The spacing is the same as the height and width. The coldness hardiness is going from 0 degrees to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So not hardy in zones 1 through 5. It does say it tolerates from zone 6 to 11. You want to fertilize this in the spring and the summer. Let's see, if you're going to use pesticides, it does have an attention on here to check for bee hazards, since they do love the flowers, and I can attest for that, since we kind of kidnapped these from Happy Little Bees, and I kind of felt bad, but they had plenty of other flowers to go to. And then it gives you more information. It does have this in Spanish as well. And then at the bottom here, if you're going to plant it in the ground, it does tell you how to do that in the best way possible. This one, it didn't have the same dry, cracked dirt like the other one did. It seemed like it was in a lot better condition, but because Mother's Day was the other day, he decided to surprise me with getting these, because my intent was just to look at everything and go, ooh, ah, pretty, I'd like to get that later, and he surprised me by just grabbing these and buying them. So, there's not a lot of flowers on this one, but they're getting there. It is still small, so it's getting there. It doesn't seem to have as much damage as the other one does, because it wasn't neglected as bad, but both still seem pretty healthy, all things considered. I wish you guys could have seen how we put these into the vehicle, because we have a 4Runner, and if anyone knows what those look like, they're not very big. So especially with that guy, we had to stick it from the back and like diagonally lay it on the back seat, and then this poor guy had to be like laid over on its side. So they survived the trip. All things considered, a few petals lost, but they're okay. Then we got some more amend bags, because in spite of potting soil being as great as it is, sorry, my brain just like quit on me for a second there, I decided to try to treat everything as if it was in ground. So we're just keeping all of the soil the same and the way that we treat it the same, so that way nothing is different. So if anything goes wrong, we know what a cause could be versus trying to guess a million guesses. So we got some extras for those, and also to help with the stuff we already have in ground, because some of the dirt had settled and sank down past where we intended. So now we got to go back and fix that. These pretty pots here, they're little. Huh?
Where wasn't the amend also for the trees?
Yes, so my husband was just asking me a question. He was asking if the amend was for the trees. So yes, these amends are going into those pots there for some roses I have outside. Well, we'll go look at those here in a sec. But the rest of it is going to be used for filling in holes and low spots as best as possible. while we are still growing things. So back to these pretty pots here. My husband picked out these green pots because he liked them the best, and they seem to be about the most suitable size for what we needed. And these are going to be for my Playboy Roses, which we're going to go look at here in a minute. So I don't remember exactly the size of these, so if you guys want to know, just let me know in the comments and I will put that information in there for you. I didn't see it on there. I know these should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 and above gallons, but again, I'm not 100 on that.
These were $39.99.
Yeah, so if you guys,
$39.97.
yeah, if you guys go to Home Depot quite often, look for the pots that look like these ones. These ones are the dark green ones. They have them in other colors as well. There is your SKU number if you need it.
How close is it?
It's decently close. I can always put that information in the comments if you guys want it as well.
16-inch solid dripping green studio planter. I would say this is probably about an 8 or 9, 10 gallon.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
So
because this one is 3.
yeah, that's a 3.
3.58 gallons.
And this is a 2.5.
And those are 3 times the width of this one, and it's probably, I don't know, 2.5 times the height. It's probably about a 10.5.
Yeah.
10 gallon or a 12 gallon, somewhere in there.
So he said that these were a 16-inch pot. So, and they have these little trays at the bottom down here to collect extra water. So then they have little drainage holes on the sides, which you can see from the inside. Yeah, there's, well, you guys can't see it probably, but right here, that's the drainage hole that goes into the little, oh, keep reading the light there. There we go. Now you guys can see. Okay, so this little black speck right here is the drainage hole. You only have one, it looks like, but that's okay because you don't need like a super lot. And then it goes into these little trays down here to collect the extra water. So it's not a lot, but it's just enough to keep it through like a little tiny dry spell. There we go. And before we go outside, we also picked up, because he got the Milwaukee, what are they? The backpack sprayers?
Switch tanks?
Oh, the switch tanks. The Milwaukee switch tanks. He got those. They're supposed to be coming in the mail soon, hopefully. That these say that they work great in devices like that, or like little pump sprayers. So we got the vitamin B1, so that way we can help with newer plants and shock and stuff like that. That's a little bit new for me, so I had to do a little bit more reading on the bottle.
Also, on the side of the bottle, it's got other things in it, zinc, iron, something else.
Yeah, so this is supposed to have zinc and iron and a few other things, but I think they're minimum. Let's see, get a quick little look here. Okay, yeah, so it says iron, magnesium, and zinc, and they're all 0.125, it looks like, for all the different ones. So this is basically just to help get them kind of going initially, to help the transplant shock. And then this grow here, we only got one because they only had one. It is a 10-10-5. These are from Lixnox or so, I think. Liquinox. This one I used, and I used it for about a week or two, I think, and immediately saw a drastic difference between the Miracle-Gro liquid fertilizer I was using. The plants seemed a little bit more vigorous. They seemed a little bit more lively and abundant. They went from being really small plants to like doubled in size. It felt like overnight. It was a noticeable difference. Flowers that weren't blooming before started blooming again. I have peppers that weren't doing so well that are starting to actually produce peppers now after using that and an organic fertilizer as a monthly application. So between this and the organic fertilizer, I think that was a good combination. And then this one, I've noticed, this is the iron and zinc. I've noticed that I've had a lot of yellowing plant issues, especially transplanting between inside and outside. So we're gonna try to see if maybe that is a little bit of boost that they need that they may not be getting between transplanting. So that's just kind of trial and error. So let's go outside and look at those Playboys. No, you're still in trouble. Okay. Oh, if you hear anything that sounds like it's dying, they're not. They're just cats that are mad. Is that necessary? Like, really? Okay. So they don't look so super awesome right now. But these are the Playboy Roses. I do have another video and I have some photos on my Instagram. We have this pretty little bud starting to pop up here. So we got some more roses going on. And those pots inside are for these pretties. Now, we just went over the knockout and we went over the Intrigue. So there lies my dilemma. My intent was to go to the store and buy these guys pots and soil and stuff like that to get them out of their tiny little pots, since they don't seem to be doing the amazing way that I'd hoped they would. And my husband surprised me, which caused me to have a new issue of needing pots again. So it's a vicious cycle sometimes, I swear. No, you're still in trouble. Go on. So, but all things considered, they're doing pretty well. They do need to be watered. It looks like they're looking a little droopy, a little dry down there. I haven't watered them for the day. But these are supposed to be an orangey red. You can kind of see how they dyed back a little bit there. It's a little bit of a darker colored compared to the other ones. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing a video here, hopefully, again. Oh, here. I don't know if you can see that, but that's kind of what it's going to look like when this blooms out. They have, I think, a double layer of petals. They don't have very many, but they have a double, I would say for sure. However, speaking of damage, these guys came all the way from Buckeye. Long distance, I know. Ironically, to get a tool. For the garden, of course. But I had to mend the branch, and I just used what I had, which was a little pencil for this one and a tiny little dowel for this one, and they had longer branches, but those branches died off, and I just cut them back to the closest area of where it was originally broken, hoping that maybe it would just grow around the damage. So those are the only two parts that suffered tremendously. These have fallen because of the wind, which is hence the rocks keep them weighted, which is also why I wanted to have the, seriously cats, shush. I wanted to have the bigger pots because they have more weight to them, keeping them upright so that way they're not on the ground, because that's, nothing breaks your heart more than to wake up in the morning, come outside, and your pretty little plant is like flopped over on the ground and you're just like, oh my god, it died. And in reality, it's fine. So, those are these. I know that they need to be trimmed a little bit in some spots and given some love, so we'll give that to them as soon as I can. But since we're over here, when I was meaning by Weeks Roses, this is my burst of joy. You kind of get the idea right there with that color of flower. They're supposed to be a pinky orangey colored flower. They're very similar to the Playboys. They're just a little bit more vibrant usually when they're brand new. This one is a Weeks of Roses rose from Summer Winds. And if you get them from Lowe's or you get them from Summer Winds, the cost is the same. You're getting the price of the nursery that they originally come from. This one is just my Rio Sombra rose from Home Depot. I do believe it was, or either that it was Lowe's. I do want to say it was a Home Depot one. That one lost all its flowers recently, so we're just waiting for new ones to come back. And it went through this weird little dry spell, I guess. So, we're working on that. And then this one, I'm gonna have to go around because it's really hard to see that one little tiny rose. Okay, so this one's supposed to be my double delight. Seriously, cat, I just don't have the effort right now. Get out of there. Get. Shh. Come on. No. Scooch. Alright, I'm also just mad at her. I'll show you guys why in a minute. So this is supposed to be my double delight here. This one never produced roses right off the bat versus my Burst of Joy did. And that was due to shock and a few other issues like sun damage, which I fixed temporarily with burlap, which is not a great fix, but on a budget, it's okay enough. This one, we're not entirely 100 on what the flower is supposed to actually look like, but it's looking like it's supposed to be like a pink and multicolored one. And if you see any of the leaves here that are like cookie cutter looking, like this one, that is from a leaf cutting bee, and I watched it do some of this. They're supposed to be solitary bees that they use the leaves of roses specifically and a few other things to make little nests and cocoons, if you will, for their babies. So if you don't want them stealing your leaves, then you can get a little bee house. Stop! Don't make me come over there, girl. Stop. Sorry. You can get one of those little bee house things. Have those little bamboo thingies in them. And they can make their little houses in there for their little babies. And that way they don't necessarily steal your stuff and you can stick it on the edges of your property. But if you're like me, your property's not very big, well, they steal a few leaves. Yeah, it's a few leaves. Gotta save the bees, right? As long as they don't take the whole plant. Just as a quick little walkthrough, this is, and I'll do another video for this later, but just a quick little thing. This is basically all melons and squash over here. And there's one little poor brassica over there that's just hanging on. We've got eggplants in the nightshades of peppers and tomatoes. Don't ask me what tomatoes are over here. I don't even remember. You gotta love it when that happens. There's supposed to be Dr. Witchy Yellow. There's supposed to be Bumblebee Burlesque. There's supposed to be a Sweetheart Cherry. There's supposed to be a white tomato. There's supposed to be a lot of things, but I don't know who is what and where and why, so we're just waiting until they produce fruit and going, that's who you are. These big ones, however, I will never know until they produce fruit of what they truly are. I had a customer, out of the kindness of her heart, donate some plants. So some of these plants that are tomatoes that are really big are specifically from her. She knew I liked gardening, and her mom gave her some plants and she didn't know what to do with them, so I took a couple of them, which had like 6 of them in each pot. And just coming through here as a quick little tour, we have more of the tomatoes that are of mystery of yet. I've got some dark opal basil mixed in amongst them. These cute little bushy things right here. We've got some snapdragons, some stock flowers, some, I do believe this is supposed to be borage. Comment down below. Borage? I don't remember. They were supposed to have balsam. We're supposed to have mint heather queen or something like that. I call it queen heather. I don't know why. I just do. We're supposed to have a bunch of other different types of flowers in here. And I can go back to the list. I also did no, I didn't do a video that day, I don't think. Oh, I'll have to go back through the list of what I grabbed. But it was everything that could tolerate heat. And then our little Xeon suns over here. Let's go look over here real quick, just to kind of look. Give you a little tiny garden tour since it's already a long video anyways. So we had a bunch of seedlings pop up, and it looks like a lot of them didn't survive the extreme heat. I know it's a little far view for you guys to see, but some of them didn't quite look like they made it, but that's okay. All I gotta do is put more compost over here and it'll, same process all over again. These are my yellow potatoes. We are hoping for more little tiny potatoes so we can have potatoes for dinner and stuff like that that are just easy to throw in the oven and cook on. I do have some mystery plants in the back there. I don't know if they're weeds. I don't know what they are. They don't look like anything I normally have in my garden, but it does look like the cats came and messed up some of my potato plants there, so there's that. I do have this onion here that's going to bloom. All of these lettuces have bolted on me, so they're very bitter right now. My broccoli is very slow to the party. There is an aphid problem, which I am not ecstatic about. I've gotten 2 small broccoli heads so far, so that's pretty exciting. I have a purple bell pepper starting here, that little black speck, sorry for the wiggles. And I think I have a few more that's gonna pop up here hopefully soon. So yay, bell peppers. My cabbage is holding in there, I guess. I don't know, that guy in the middle looks questionable. I don't know how he's doing. My bull's blood beets are doing alright. They haven't gotten bigger and they haven't died, so that's a plus, I guess, in some sense. All of my squashes and zucchinis have set male flowers. As far as I can tell, they're all male flowers. And my peas are starting to produce pea pods. So hopefully those get bigger soon and I can harvest more than 1 pea at a time. I have my bush beans over here. These are I'm gonna call them my regular bush beans because I think they're just my lake standard green bush beans. And my dragon's tongue right there, which isn't doing so great because I think it's getting hit with too much sun, which I'm trying to fix that. I just don't know how. And then the back is supposed to be purple peas, but no pea pods yet, so I don't know what color they are. And if anybody's had any of these pretty little Rios in their yard, see that one? So pretty. It's all wonderful, all nice. A little bit of burnt spots there. And then we got that. We got a few more of those over in the other big section we just walked through. I need help. It's by this wall. It's covered by shade. It only gets morning sun. What happened? I water these, I would say, almost every day. Not a deep water, but enough to kind of, you know, get them through until I come back home. And then this guy did the same thing, but in all fairness, I did remove this out of its original dirt and put it back when I fixed the dirt, so that might be the problem, but still, same issue. Ugh. Hold on, I gotta fix caps because I don't know why these keep coming off. Do you guys have this issue where your sprinkler little drippy caps just mysteriously come off for no reason at all, it seems like? And you can never seem to find all of them. Alright, I think we were only missing one on that one to begin with. I gotta get more caps. So, like I said, that Rio, the purple Incantia coneflower, that's doing pretty well. It's gotten a lot bigger, and the electric sky petunia has gotten bigger as well. So those are doing great. Then we have the garden sage and the pineapple sage now. With the pineapple sage, my husband did try to help, and he accidentally pulled off a few of the things, which is fine. It'll grow back, but I'm a little bummed about that. But this one's gotten a lot bigger than what I had it as. And then I think this is an artichoke because my seeds got scattered from a pot, so I don't know. We're just hoping for the best at this point. My dill had aphid issues, but now there's these little black specks all over it. So I don't know, I kind of want to just trim it back, pull it out something and start over. My husband wants to just keep it and let it do its thing. I don't know. You guys give me your opinions. What do you think is best? They're just everywhere. Like, it's really bad. My poppy, oh, look at there. It's gonna have a bloom soon. So excited. First bloom ever. This flag, I swear, it does this on purpose. Ugh. Alright, so my bachelor buttons as we end the tour here on this area. I pinched 2 of the 5 just to see if that helps any. And not seeing any difference other than they're not doing anything. But I'm getting at least 1 bachelor button flower on one of them. So hopefully here in the next week or so, I will see a difference between them. My Johnny Jump Ups, pansies, violas, whatever you want to call them, they just die. Like, they're supposed to be pretty like that one, and they're all gone. So can you guys, like, let me know when the heat kicks in? Do they disappear? Do they come back? Like, what should I do? And then we have trailing rosemary here, oregano over here, which went to bloom as well. This little guy, I'm just letting it do its thing. I don't even know what to do with that. We have thyme over here and over here. This one looks like it's not doing so hot. I don't know. I'm gonna water it, but I don't know what's going on with it. Then we have this one, and then this travesty right here. The cat just completely, like, messed it up. And I'm pretty sure it's a goner at this point. I don't even think it can be saved, to be honest. And I'm really annoyed because now they're uneven. So I'm going to have to figure out something to go there. But that's why I'm mad at my cat. Kind of my cat anyways. Just lives in my yard. So yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. I know it was a long video and we kind of went through a little tour real quick. So if you guys stuck through to the end, I want to thank you guys. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye!